Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington, Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the latest buzz around the NFL, especially inside the NFC East, you know that the Washington Commanders are at a pivotal crossroads. Rumors are swirling about a blockbuster trade that could significantly bolster their secondary and change the entire defensive dynamic. The whispers, coming from credible sources like Diana Rossini, point to a potential deal involving none other than Devin Witherspoon, the dynamic young cornerback from the Seattle Seahawks. And let me tell you, this isn't just any trade. It's a move that could reshape the division and send ripples through the playoffs. So what exactly is happening? Well, according to the latest intel, the Seahawks are reportedly open to trading Witherspoon in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. That's a huge piece of capital for Seattle, especially considering they are currently sitting at 7-2, with a defense that's been playing lights out, allowing just 19 points per game. They're in a good spot to contend, and it seems like they're prioritizing future cap flexibility and roster flexibility, especially on the defensive line, where they're focusing on extensions. But at the same time, they're willing to move a rising star like Witherspoon to free up around $10 million in cap space for next year, all while focusing on building the offense after allowing 172 points in recent games. Now, why would the Commanders be interested in Witherspoon? Well, for starters, this kid is a game changer. We're talking about a ball hawk with elite physicality, a guy who can shut down the best receivers in the league and make big plays when it counts. His stats in 2025 are impressive, even with injuries limiting him to only 4 games. He's posted 20 solo tackles, 8 assists, 3 interceptions, and a sack. His PFF grade sits at an outstanding 82, placing him among the top 10 cornerbacks in the league. His coverage rate is a solid 85%, and his EPA per target is 18, meaning he's making a real difference when he's on the field. That kind of production, combined with his physical style of play similar to Sauce Gardner, makes him a perfect fit for a team like Washington that needs to shore up its secondary and add a true playmaker. Imagine what Witherspoon could bring to the Commanders' defense. His ability to limit big plays down the sideline and tighten coverage across the board would give the unit a serious boost. Opposing offenses would need to rethink their entire game plan when facing a secondary that now features a player of his caliber. His presence alone could elevate the defense's overall performance, especially in critical situations like third downs, where the Commanders have struggled at times this season. His addition would be a game changer, not just for the defense, but for the entire team's confidence going forward. But it's not just about the stats. Witherspoon's physicality and competitive edge would bring a new attitude to Washington's secondary, which has been exposed at times this season. His skill set is comparable to some of the best young corners in the league, and he's already showing signs of being a shutdown corner for the future. The Commanders, with their cap space of about $26 million, need to be aggressive here. They've suffered from injuries in the secondary, and adding a player like Witherspoon, who could immediately slot into the starting lineup, would be a huge step towards stabilizing the position. Looking at the bigger picture, this move could have a transformative impact. The Commanders' defense would become significantly more formidable. Opponent yards per pass attempt could drop from around 7.2 to approximately 6.0, which is a massive improvement. That would lead to a roughly 25% increase in coverage EPA, making it much harder for opposing quarterbacks to pick apart the secondary. Statistically, we could see projections of 5 more interceptions on the season, which would be a big boost to the turnover margin. This change would also help the pass rush by alleviating some pressure off the front 7, allowing them to focus more on getting after the quarterback rather than constantly covering for coverage breakdowns. All of this comes at a time when the Commanders are trying to keep pace in the playoff race. Their odds of winning the Super Bowl have shifted from +10-0 to +3-500, reflecting a renewed belief that with the right moves, they can contend. Witherspoon's potential impact in the playoffs is considered a significant X factor. His ability to cover elite receivers, plus the 12% increase in success against top-tier WRs, could be the difference in tightly contested postseason games. It's rare to find a young corner with this kind of upside, and if the Commanders manage to land him, it could be the move that pushes them over the edge. Of course, this isn't just about one player. It's about the strategic shift it signals for the team. The Commanders are clearly looking to strengthen their defense, especially in the secondary, to complement their already promising offense, which is anchored by the return of Jahan Dotson and the developing chemistry with Sam Howell. The addition of Witherspoon would give Washington a much-needed boost in confidence and skill at a critical position, helping them compete more effectively against division rivals like the Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants. Now, the Seahawks are in a tough spot. They're ahead in the standings, but they're also trying to maximize their roster and cap space for future seasons. Moving a player of Witherspoon's caliber might seem risky, but it's a calculated move that aligns with their long-term plan. They're prioritizing the offensive side of the ball after allowing a lot of points recently, and freeing up cap space now allows them to focus on extensions and adding depth elsewhere. Plus, Seattle's optimism at 7-2 keeps them in the playoff picture, and they'll want to make strategic moves to keep that momentum going. For the Commanders, this potential trade isn't just about adding a talented corner. It's about sending a message that they're serious about competing now. It's about building a roster that can take on the best in the league and make a real push in the postseason. If this deal goes through, it would send shockwaves through the NFC East, making the Commanders a team to watch as they gear up for the final stretch of the season. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, fans of the Commanders are undoubtedly excited about the possibilities. This move could be the catalyst for a serious playoff push, especially if Witherspoon can stay healthy and continue to develop into a top-tier cover man. His presence would also take some pressure off the pass rush, giving players like Chase Young and Montez Sweat more room to operate. The secondary's improvement could lead to more wins in close games, which has often been the difference for teams fighting for playoff positioning. And let's not forget, the NFC East remains one of the most competitive divisions in football. The Eagles are looking strong, the Cowboys are always in the mix, and the Giants are fighting hard to stay relevant. For Washington, making a splash move like this isn't just about winning a few games. It's about establishing a new standard, showing that they're willing to invest in their future and go all in on winning. Of course, we'll have to wait and see if this deal materializes. The NFL trade deadline is always a hectic time, with last-minute negotiations and surprises. But if the reports are true, and the Commanders manage to land Devon Witherspoon, it would be one of the most significant moves of the season so far. Fans would finally get the lockdown corner they've been craving, and the team would send a clear message to the league. Washington is serious about contending and making a deep playoff run. In the end, what we're witnessing is a team willing to make bold moves, to invest in their future, and to do whatever it takes to elevate their game. Witherspoon's potential addition could be just the beginning of a new chapter for the Commanders, one filled with hope, determination, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. So stay tuned, everyone, because the coming days could be filled with surprises, and this story is far from over. The NFC East is heating up, and Washington is right in the middle of it, ready to make a statement. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news.